Hey guys, No Gas Nico here. Going to be installing this smart switch. It's from GoSund and it's got 4 wires. Typically, you're only going to find 2 in your wall box. You're going to have the one that's live and then the one that runs to your light. This switch also came with attached hardware and this neat little cover that is screwless, so it's a nice clean finish. It's got these little tabs that clip on the top and bottom. But we're going to go through and show you how to install this without having a neutral wire running into your box, and fill you in on that. So let's get started. All right, here we go. Typical teenage daughter's room. Here's your light switch. See, the light came on, off. So we have power. First thing we're going to do, I'm going to go to the breaker. I'm going to kill the power to this, and then we're going to start with the disassembly, and I'm going to show you how to install it. There's only 2 wires here, and they both go to the light. That's basically what the switch interrupts the power to the light. That's all this light switch does. Right now it breaks the cycle, breaks the circuit, so they're not connected. Flip the switch, it's like touching 2 wires together. You have light. I turn it off. It's like I pull the wires apart. So it's really the same wire. It's just making it connected and disconnected. So that's what the switch does. There's no neutral here. So what do? These smart switches need to have neutral because they have to have constant power. I'm going to show you how to do that. Here we go. Okay, I just turned the breaker off and light didn't come on. So there should be no power here. So I'm going to start disassembling this, take it apart, show you the wires, and then we'll go ahead and start swapping this out, and I'm going to show you what to do to make these smart switches work. With that said, I am not an electrician. If you do not feel comfortable or not really sure how to do this properly, please hire an electrician. Always do it with the power off. You could do major damage to your house. You could catch your house on fire if you don't know what you're doing. So if you're not comfortable doing this yourself, hire an electrician and they'll be able to do this for you at minimum cost. So if you're like me, I like to save money. I do understand how the electricity works, so I feel comfortable doing this. If you do not, I can't stress enough, hire a professional. All right, take this cover off. I do not save these. When I'm done with this cover and switch is going to go in the garbage. Some of you people probably going to gasp at that because it's still a good switch, still a good cover. I don't like being a hoarder. So, switch off. Now with that off, get yourself one of these tools. This will tell you if there is power. Push the button and you stick it in here. If there was power, this thing would be flashing like crazy. There's no power, we're good to go. So now I need to remove the outlet. So there's 2 screws on top, or 2 screws, one on top, one on the bottom. Oh, that screws in there a little. Almost feels cross-threaded, which is not good because we're reusing this box. See, this screw's a lot easier. So I'm going to go ahead and break the paint because you can see this got painted with the wall. I don't like doing that because sometimes when you paint over top of these tabs and then you go to pull the switch, the paint will peel a big section of paint off. And one way you can avoid that, I took the risk by just popping it off. One way you can avoid doing that is take a box cutter or a razor blade and then trace around it before you peel it off. And that'll ensure you don't get any paint that you want on the wall to come out with it. So again, a little trick in case you are afraid you're going to ruin the paint, you don't want to repaint the room, or you don't have this color anymore. You have to go get a color match and you have to buy more paint than you need for a little spot. Just take a razor blade. I'm going to pull this out and I'm going to show you. And actually, we are in luck. This actually has a neutral wire. I wasn't expecting that. The other two outlets I did, or other two switches, didn't have a neutral wire. I'm going to show you this, how to install it this way, but I'm also going to show you what you can do if you don't have this neutral wire. So let me get the camera in here a little closer. All right, I'm going to show you what we got here. Since this is on and this was the off position, this is your line. This is your hot. This one has constant power. And if I was to turn that on right now and touch this, I would have zapped myself. This is the carrying load carrying to the ceiling fan, the light. This is our neutral. So I'm going to be tying that into the neutral. And way back in there, probably can't see it, there's a ground wire that is screwed to the box. I don't know if you can see it. I can focus it on there. Way in the back there, you can see that screw with the ground wire. So we're going to go ahead and start changing this out. All right. First thing I'm going to do is, well, you know what? Throwing this switch away anyway, so except for messing with the screws, I'm just going to go ahead and cut the wires. Now, this is my line wire. I'm going to put it over here because I know that's the one that has power. That has to go to the black wire. This, I'm sorry, that's the load. That's the load. No, that's the line. This is the load. This is going to go up to the ceiling fans. I'm going to push it up here. Okay, and I need to go get the switch. Okay, so one thing I want to do is I want to get back here where this ground wire is attached. And I'm going to unscrew it from this wall box. A lot of these older homes have these metal wall boxes. And they have the ground wires to where they ground on the metal box. So I'm going to move the ground wire out here. Now, this is what you do. This is what I did in my other rooms. I didn't have this white wire, okay? They only had 2 wires coming in and a ground wire. You can still wire up because, you know, I got 4 wires. Well, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 wires. Everything looks good here, right? What if I didn't have this? Well, then I have 4 wires here and 3 wires here. What do I do? In U.S. residential wiring, the neutral and the ground are on the same bus bar. I'll put a picture of it right here. They're on the same bus bar. So your neutral and your ground share the same connection. You guessed it. I take these 2 wires, I connect it to this ground, this little copper ground wire right here. And then I connect the black wire here to my hot. Then I connect the red wire to the load. Simple. And it will work. Don't even have to touch this. And actually, I'm going to prove that to you because I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to wire it that way. And I'm going to completely ignore that neutral wire. I will come back and wire it in with the neutral just because it's there and why not. But we're going to go ahead, take these 2 with the ground, and I'm going to tie them together. Now I need to strip some of that off to make my other 2 connections. You don't need to strip a lot, just maybe about 1/4 to 1/2 an inch. About that much right there. On both. Remember, this is my line. So you got that. Alright. So, black wire with the line, put the wire nut on. grab another wire nut here. Red wire. Now remember, I did not connect the neutral. Did not connect the neutral. Of course, everything's dead because I gotta go turn the breaker back on. It's all the way downstairs, so I'll stop the video, turn the breaker on, start it back up, and then you'll see that this light switch is working. So here we go. Okay, power's back on. So I'm gonna take my nice little tester and I'm gonna check the wires. Uh-oh. I think I got them backwards. Yep, that's why we test these. This is supposed to go here. I need to swap these two wires out, so that's why we do this. What I should have done, should have pulled it out. I should have tested it, but I like turning the power off, pulling everything out. I assumed based on the way the switch was, it was in the off position, that that's where it was, but it got switched, it got wired backwards. So what I think happened is the old light switch was wired incorrectly. It still worked, but if you do that, it's just not correct. So I'm gonna go ahead, kill the power again. I'm gonna swap these, turn the power back on, and show you. Because when you do that, you can see there's no power on this switch. It won't work. When these are incorrect, it won't work. The old dummy switches, it'll work all day long. These have to be right for these smart switches. Okay, I already know it works because as soon as I walked in after flipping the breaker, I went ahead and swapped these two wires. Again, on the dummy switch, it doesn't matter because it's just basically like taking two wires and doing this. Where a smart switch has to have power all the time. So by having these backwards, it didn't work. So I went, turned power off, flipped these, turn the power back on, and the light's already on. And now I can turn the light off. And if you've noticed, this is how I have it. I have the neutral and ground wire put together on the ground wire here. So you see this is all running to ground. And then I have, this is my one that has power all the time. This one does not. So, and you tell I am pushing the button. So the black one has to be with power all the time. The red one is the one that travels up to the switch. Now these are all running to ground, and the light's on, lights off, works. I didn't have to connect it to this neutral wire. So if you do not have this, do not worry. Run both of these to ground and you will be fine. Okay, I got this switched over and you can see here I do have the neutrals tied together. Had to get a bigger wire nut. I had these in my garage. Again, these I didn't change, and now just the ground wire is connected by itself. So since I did have an actual neutral, I went ahead and wired this as it probably any electrician would, just to make sure we are utilizing the proper wires. So now what I want to do is I want to just tuck these in, and you see it still works. Everything's the same. So being a smart device, my daughter was like, I can still turn my lights on and off, right, Dad? Like normal, right? I mean, you're not going to have full control of my light. I'm going to have control of it not being on all day while she's gone in school, and then she sports, and then she has choir or the play or the musical, and she's gone from 7 a.m. until 9 p.m. and this fan is just spinning around. I'm going to be able to stop that now. So it's not a control thing. It's a way to stop waste. Very wasteful just to have energy being used and nobody's home. Not that it's still, energy's not cheap. Electricity rates, I mean, everything's going up, right? We have inflation, we have, you name it. What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to stuff these in far enough. So I'm using the rubber part of this screwdriver to kind of get these wire nuts and the wires tucked back far enough for me to be able to mount this flush, kind of like so. So it's a little hard when you have a lot of wires back there. That's why I cut the neutral wire down a little bit, try to save me some room. So now we're gonna have, they have provided these screws with the kit, and what I like to do is make sure I don't push anything on the side here. Oops, I hit the button. We'll leave the light on, why not? So I'll go ahead and get this started at the top. And then we'll go ahead and get this one started at the bottom. Now you don't have to use the covers they provided. They did provide the nice clean covers, but they also have their logo on them, which, yeah, this is the one that's stripped, so this is gonna be hard. If you don't want to use the one with the logos, they do have two little screws here, and they provide you with the little screws that can go here to put a different cover, and you can get any one of the rectangular opening covers that you want, would fit on here just fine. But I'm using their covers now because they're there, and I don't want to go buy a bunch of new covers right now. And like I said, this one, the box felt stripped, which it probably is because this is a brand new screw. But it's still threading in. It's just very hard to turn. I'll try to get that on there nice and alright, and this is the cover they provide, and you can see it has, if I don't forget the focus in there, it's got their logo. Now if you want to look these up, I got them off Amazon. So what it is it's got these little tabs on the top, and there's little slots. So you just put it on the top, make sure it hooks in, and then it should snap into place. And you have a nice, good, clean finish. There's no screw holes. I haven't tried to take any of these off, so I don't know how easy they come off. I imagine you have to get behind it with like a small screwdriver and pop them off. But yeah. There you go, that's the installation. That's how you put it. Now right now, I can leave it and just say, it's just a regular switch. It doesn't have to be a smart switch. I am gonna go through and activate it. I need to go get my cell phone, and you have to set up an account with GoSund, register the device on the account, and then you have to link GoSund to your Amazon or Google Home, Google Nest, Google Home. It can be controlled by either or, maybe other apps as well, I'm not sure, but I know for sure Amazon Alexa and Google Home will control this switch. So I'm gonna go get my cell phone, and I'm gonna go through that and show you how to go ahead and pair this thing. Okay, so let's get to the programming part. I'm gonna go ahead and turn my screen recorder on, and I'll put my screen recording up here so you can see it. Screen recorder. We're not going to record sound because I'm going to have it here. So this will just play. I'll have the starting point where I start recording. So in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so what you do first, you want to press and hold this until that starts blinking rapidly. Now I'm going to go ahead and start the G-Sund app. Now that's blinking red quickly. You can see it right there. You need to have it blinking red like that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to Discovery. Maybe not Discovery. Let's go home. Smart switches. Oh, I'm sorry. I had the thing covering the plus. Let me hit the plus up here. The little recording icon. So yeah, we're going to do Wi-Fi. So I'm going to turn my Wi-Fi on. And I'm going to set it to my guest Wi-Fi. That is good. Go back here, go next step. Next step. Wait for it. It's loading. I almost dropped my phone. Good thing I have a nice case. Now it says searching for pairing. Make sure your device has entered pairing mode, which it did because it's blinking red. And I'm going to go to smart Wi-Fi. Oh, discovering devices. Hit add new device. So it's adding the device now. So, and it has that little pink dot with the circle around it. It's telling it its status. So it's about maybe 10%. More than that. It's getting close. So 25%. It's not the fastest process. If you want to kind of fast forward through this, I won't break my heart. I understand. I don't want to sit here and watch videos where somebody's waiting for something to download. But I'll keep it going. I might speed this up too as well. Oh, now it's working. Go figure. This thing is so frustrating. So frustrating. Oh, now it says it's connected to Alexa. So I'm going to go ahead and go over to Alexa. And we're going to go back. Back. Stop, Alexa. Stop. Alexa, go to home screen. Okay, let's close Alexa.
Having trouble connecting to the network.
Oh.
Please try again a bit later.
Okay, so back here, let's go to devices, switches. Alright, let me go back to GoSend. Said it added it, so let me get off the Wi-Fi. Oh, there it is, Smart Switch 4. It's because I turned the Wi-Fi off. Now everything's going crazy. There we go. So Smart Switch 4 says on. Push buttons off. Push buttons on. Alright, so now what I want to do is I want to go in here. Power's on. I want to go into settings and I'm going to rename it. My daughter's name is Sarah, so Sarah's Light. And hit done. Renames it. And now if you have an Echo Dot or something, you can say, Alexa, turn Sarah's light off.
Okay.
Alexa, is Sarah's light on?
The Sarah's light is off.
So you can ask. And now I'm going to do a routine. So let's go back to the home page. Up here I'm going to click on routines, and you see I have a few, not very many, because I just started this whole smart thing. I'm going to hit add routine, enter a name. I'm going to say Sarah's light off. I'm going to hit next. What happens? So we're going to do this on a schedule. At what time? We're going to do it every weekday. She goes to school, so at time we're going to say 7:30 in the morning, because she usually leaves about 7:10. So by 7:30 in the morning, I'm going to make sure that this light's off. So I'm going to hit next, and then I'm going to hit add action, smart home. I'm going to look at all devices, so I'm going to go Sarah's light off. Next. Save. So I'm going to turn the light on. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit play to verify that this is actually going to work. So just hit play. It should turn the light off when I hit play. Boom. So now I know 7:30 in the morning, Monday through Friday, this switch will be shut off. So if she forgets to turn it off, it's going to get turned off for her. All right, that's all I have. We're going to go ahead and put everything together. I will be installing 2 Google Nest thermostats. I actually have 3 zones. I might be doing a third, but for right now I'm going to put 2 Google Nest thermostats in. One for the upstairs and one for the kitchen dining room area. I do have a separate thermostat for the living room because I have a wood-burning fireplace and I needed its own zone. I have boiler heat. So with that, I will do that, install, and kind of go through a review on a Google Nest thermostat. I had some issues. I didn't follow my own rule of turning off the power, and I kind of did some damage. So parts coming in today. I'm going to fix the boiler, get it working again. And then we're going to go ahead and get it. So I probably should have hired a professional, but paid the price. Luckily, it was a $25 part that I damaged. So that's coming today, and we're going to do a Google Nest next. So, all right. Like, share, subscribe to this content if you think this was valuable to you, if you learned something. And we'll click the little notification bell if you want to see my next videos. I'm going to do gadgets. I do electric vehicles. I'm going to be doing a solar project. I'm just getting this channel started. So if you want to help me out, like and subscribe. I'll even share this if you know somebody that's putting in these switches and like scratching their head. How do you do it? It's really not that hard. It's really simple. Once somebody explains it to you, it's really simple. All right. Thanks for watching, and God bless.